Yo, what's good? It's Catch a Fade here. Today I'm gonna be doing a burst fade and a freestyle design on my boy Julian here. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more tutorials, and let's get right into it. Alright y'all, so let's get this burst fade started. I'm gonna grab my trimmer real quick and I'm gonna make a guideline right above the crevice of my client's ear. I'm gonna make this burst fade as low as possible because I'm gonna be doing a freestyle design and I need some space to be creative with it. Now I'm gonna grab my fuller shaver and shave the stubble left behind by my trimmer. Now I'm going to grab my clipper with no guard on it and the lever all the way open. I'm going to make another line right above the first guideline. Then I'm going to grab my 1.5 guard with the lever open and I'm going to make another line right above the second line I just made. With that same 1.5 guard, I'm going to close the lever and clean up the area we just cut. This process is going to make it possible for you to skip the number 1 guard and get right into the half guard to blend out the second guideline we just made. Now with the half guard, I'm going to open the lever all the way and hit the second line we made. Make sure to flick the machine outwards so that the hair fades easier in this process. Now to finish up the blending process, I'm going to remove the guard from my clipper and close the lever all the way. Then I'm going to slightly bring up that first initial guideline a tad bit. Make sure to not bring the line up too high because you can ruin the entire blend. Then I'm going to open the lever halfway and bring up that line once again. Keep on flicking that clipper in an outwards motion so that you don't make any harsh lines. Finally, I'm going to open the lever all the way and finish blending that first line. Once I've done that, I'm going to observe my results and touch up any lines or dark areas that I may have missed. Remember that the blend won't always come out perfect on the first try, so that's why I double check my work. Now you'll see me returning to the half guard to detail an area that needed some work. Now I'm going to proceed with clipper over comb to get rid of all that bulk from the top length of the hair. If you're not familiar with clipper over comb, it's important to learn how it works so that you're able to clean up this bulk very quickly. If you want to be at a high walk-in barbershop, it's mandatory to not spend way too much time on one haircut so that you're able to get more clients in your chair every single day. More clients means more money. Now I'm going to grab my thinning shears with a small comb to thin out my client's hair on the sides. Sometimes when you have a client with really thick hair, this is mandatory because of how bulky his hair can get. Now I'm going to grab my trimmer and line up the C-cup so that our burst fade looks sharp. Then I'll clean up any tiny lines with the corner of my machine. Now I'm just going to repeat the same steps on the other side of my client's head. Instead of doing the entire blend though, I'm going to be setting up for the freestyle design, and I'm going to make enough space so that I could get creative with this design. So to set up for this design, I'm just going to grab my clipper and open the lever all the way, and I'm going to make a second guideline above the first one I just made, and this is going to determine where the lowest point of my design is going to be. Now I'm going to quickly grab my 1.5 guard and clean up all the bulk so that I have a clean canvas for my design. Remember that designs take a lot of patience because of how detailed they can be. But just don't get too frustrated with designs. You'll progress with practice and consistency like anything in life. You're probably not going to be the best at it at first, but don't get demotivated from this. So I'm going to just proceed with clipper over comb again to cut the top length of my client's hair. I just want to get that out of the way before I proceed with the design. And just make sure to not dig in too deep with your comb, because you could leave a bald spot on your client's head and that's going to be pretty hard to take out. So just be very cautious on this step. Now I'm just going to line up the C-cups of my client's hair before we proceed with this design. I just want to get that out of the way so that I don't have to come back to this either. So to start off the design, I'm going to try to get this all in one voice recording. But basically, I'm just going to try to get the right angle with my trimmer. I'm just using the corner of my trimmer so that I don't accidentally dig in the whole blade and make like a huge line on accident. But yeah, you'll just see me using the corner of my blade right here. I'm going to try to make it 3D, so I'm going to follow through with the line under the line that I just made. You'll see me just using the corner of my trimmer once again, just trying to be cautious to not mess up. This process is very tedious. Make sure to take your time, get the right angles. You'll see me switching angles from the left side to the right side of the head, just like that right there. You just saw that. And yeah, I kind of made this design go downwards towards the back of the head since we're doing a burst fade. But if it was just a taper, you could just do it straight. But if it was a fade, you would probably do the same thing, because the fades also kind of go downwards if it's a drop fade, for example. So basically this is the end of my design. I'm just going to come back and detail any small things that I need to touch up. I decided to curve this bottom line a little bit more, and then I'm also going to add an extra line right there where the M is at, just to make it look a little bit cooler. But you know, you just get creative with it. Practice makes perfect. Obviously your first freestyle design is not going to be as crazy as mine, but just staying consistent with it is going to pay off in the long run. Obviously when I started, I wasn't this good at doing designs. But make sure that you just stay consistent with it so that you're able to provide this as a service, because designs are a lot more common than before. I feel like it's more of a trend now. So, you know, having this as a service, making an extra $5 or maybe $10, and $5 or $10 may not seem like it's a lot, but if you add that with the whole haircut service, let's say you charge $30 a haircut, which is average out here in Los Angeles, and then you charge an extra $10 for the design, you'll be making $40 an hour instead of just 30, which really does help in the long run. Now you're just going to see me using the straight razor to touch up this design. This is just going to make the design pop out more. make sure you're stretching the skin and be very careful to not nick your client, because then they'll start bleeding, and then if you want to post your design on Instagram, everybody's gonna be like, damn bro, you cut my boy's head, bro, I'm switching barbers. No, but seriously, try not to cut your client's head. They're gonna notice it, especially when you spray aftershave. It's gonna burn. But like I was saying before, these designs, making an extra $5 to $10 on top of, like, let's say you do eyebrows, another $5. You know, you do beard, that's like $10. If you do a hot towel service with a steamer and a massage, a nice little facial black mask, you could be making up to $60 to $80 a haircut. Now I'm just going to cut the top of my client's hair, but obviously we have to wet it first before you cut it. It makes it easier, and if you cut it while it's dry, it's going to be a lot shorter than you think it is, because it's more poofed up, it's more condensed. So what you want to do is you want to wet the hair. Since he has a messy haircut, I'm going to be doing point cutting so that his hair is nice and textured. If you want an in-depth tutorial on how to do point cutting and just cutting the top length of people's hair, just let me know in the comments down below. I'm focusing on more of designs and blending for now, but if you guys really want to learn, let me know and I'll make an in-depth tutorial for you guys. Now I'm just going to put some styling powder in my client's head. I'm going to spread it out evenly so that there's not certain parts that are more thicker than others. What it does is it just makes it more poofy, gives it more of that like choppy look, which is what we're trying to achieve with my client. I put some in the back of his mullet too so that it poofs out more and it doesn't just look flat, because our client does have straight hair. And this is our finished result. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something new from this tutorial. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.